Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm audible to you. Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm audible to you. Yes, I'm audible to you. Okay, we'll start the session. We'll start the session. So before that, let me just revise yesterday what we have done. So yesterday we have completed the third class of the Active Directory, in which we discussed about, in which we have discussed about how to create the, how to transfer the roles and how to seize the role. Okay. So now after the third class, you can see today we have to discuss the Active Directory fourth class because we already completed group policies. Yes. So now today will be the fourth class of the Active Directory. Tomorrow will be the final class of the Active Directory. Okay. So now today we'll discuss about the Active Directory fourth class, in which we are going to focus now how to work on different forests. Till now we were working on a single forest. So within the forest we will have multiple domain, and only one domain will be parent domain and rest of the child domain. So the parent domain users and child domain users default can able to access each other resources because the default trust will be there. But today we are going to work on two different forests. So today we are going to work on two different forests. So today we are going to work on two different forests. So till now we were working on a single forest, but today two different forests. So this is one forest. So in that, for simplicity, I'm taking only parent domain. In the forest, you will have multiple domain, but I'm taking only parent DC. So this is now my forest name. Forest name and parent DC will be same. So this is my one forest, zoom.com. Now in that, my parent DC is also with same name. So in that, I have some domain users. Now this my DC is connected to the switch. Onto that, I have client machine, and I have one member server. That member server I have made as a ADC. So this is one forest. So this is one forest. Now coming to the another forest. You are able to see in my screen, no? Yes, my screen is visible to you. What I'm drawing is available. You are able to see it. Okay, fine. So now I have another forest here. So we have another forest here. With maybe with some other name. So there, another domain, another forest. So here I have another user here, H1. So this is connected to the switch. Onto the switch, we have client and member server. Member server we have made ADC. Suppose these two forests are connected. So these two forests are connected. Uh, they are in the same network. Suppose this forest IP is 10.1, preferred DNS is 10.1, alternate DNS is 10.2, and here the IP is 10.2, preferred DNS 10.2, and alternate DNS 10.1. Now they are communicating each other. But the question is, now the H1 user of the forest. So the H1 user can log in into the forest. HDFC forest user can log in into the Zoom forest, and Zoom user can log in into the HDFC forest. So now how to log in we have seen. Now here I have given U1 at the rate. Now these are not different domain. These are two different forests. And here this user. So you tell me, can they log in or cannot log in? Tell me. Yes or no? Yes, they can log in or they cannot log in. Tell me. They are communicating, but two different forests. So they can able to access each other resources or not. Yes or no? So I got one answer, yes, from Vinay. That is wrong answer. They may communicate, but they cannot access each other resources because these are two different forests. If it is a two different domain belong to same forest, they can access each other resources if they are communicating. But here, even though they are communicating, they are in different, they are in same network. They have been connected, but still they cannot access each other resources. Forest user of HDFC cannot log in into Zoom forest. Zoom forest user U1 cannot log in into HDFC because these are two different forests. So why they cannot access each other resources? Because within the two domain, within the different domain, within the or you can say the two different domains are there, but within the same forest. So default trust will be there. So the parent trust you. I think you may say yes. You trust your parent. Yes, you may trust your parent. Yes, your parent trust you. Yes. So what is the relationship between the same forest? There is one parent and all child. So parent trusts child, child trusts parent. But now it is two different forests, means two different families. So do you trust everybody, like in your relatives or in your neighbors, whom you just know it? Do you trust them? Do you trust them? Whoever you know, do you trust them? Maybe your relatives, maybe your neighbors. Do you trust? No, default trust won't be there. But between your father and you, anybody have created any trust? No, it is created default. So within the same family, trust is created. So same way within the forest, the relationship between the different domain is parent and child. So child domain trust parent, parent trust child. And the different child domain means they are something like a brothers. So one brother may trust the other brother. Yes, by default, we don't have to create. Within the family, trust will be there. But if it is two different forests, they may be communicating but cannot access each other resources. But if you want this user to access these resources, it is not possible unless until you created trust. So what is the today's topic? Trust relationship. So in the Active Directory fourth class, we are going to discuss about how to create a trust between two different forests. After you create a trust, then they can access each other resources. So this is what we are going to discuss in today's session. So this concept is used in banks. So that's why if you have a card from any bank, you can withdraw the money from the other ATM machines. So how they will know each other? Because the banks, to provide better service to their customer, what they have done, they have created a trust between different banks. Like the SBI cardholder can withdraw the money from HDFC machine. HDFC user can withdraw the money from the SBI. So how they will know? Because once you put the card, it will read. Then it will have the banks have created a trust between different servers. So once it reads the card, it will connect to that server so that it will check how much money you are withdrawing. It is that amount you have in your account or not. Otherwise, suppose you have account in SBI, you're trying to withdraw the HDF from HDFC ATM machine. How the HDFC server will know how much amount you have? So the people may withdraw more amount. So will it allow? No. So what the HDFC will do, once it read the card, it will connect to that server. So your server definitely will have your information in your account, how much amount is there. So you can withdraw less than that or equal to that, but not more than that. So, so this is about, so this is about the trust which we are using in the banking sector. Because of that, it is become easier for the persons to access the resources. The best example is our ATM cards. So if you have account in one bank, you can withdraw the amount from other ATM card, sorry, ATM machines. So this is all possible because of the trust created between different bank servers, which will improve their business, and at the same time, it will provide a better service and convenient service to the to their customers. Okay. So today our session is about how to create a trust between two different forests. So this is what we are going to discuss. So today is the active fourth class. So in which we are going to discuss about how to create a trust which will ensure the secure communication and secure and authenticated communication from one domain to other domain. So some trusts are created automatically, like within the forest. So some trusts are created automatically within the forest. Okay. Is it visible? Because again, it is getting hand. You are able to see now my screen. If it is not visible, you write it. So just I'm trying to write something. My screen is visible. Yes. Is it visible or not? Visible. Okay, fine. Just a moment. The slide got slow. So some trusts are created automatically within the same forest. Within the same forest. Because the relationship between them is parent and child. So parent trust to child default and child trust the parent. So we don't have to create a trust. But some trust has to be created between different forests. So this is what we are going to work today, between different forests. So, so between the different forests, we have to create a trust. Within the same forest, default trust is existing because what is the relationship? Parent and child. So do you need to create a trust in between parent and child? No, default trust is created. Default, it will be there trust between the parent and the child. That's why within the same forest, we don't have to create the trust. And the one domain user, parent domain user can access the resources of child domain. Child domain can access the resources of parent domain within the same forest. But between two different forests, this will not happen because default trust won't be there between two different forests. So as admin, we have to create a trust. After that, they can access each other resources. So this concept we are using in banking sector. Because of that, the customer from one bank can withdraw the amount using the ATM machine from other bank ATM machine. Okay. So now how to create a trust between two different forests, we will see. So can I move to the next slide? No, slide is visible. No. So can I go to the next slide? Okay. So to create the trust, relationship, we need to aware about three things. So to create the trust, we have to aware about these three things. So once we discuss this, then we can create a trust. Trust categories, trust direction, trust type. So first we'll discuss the trust direction because it is easier to understand. It is same like our mobile. So we have, while creating the trust, how many types of direction we have? Three types. One way incoming, one way outgoing, two way. Two way means incoming and outgoing both. So which direction will be best? You tell me. Same like our mobile. So your three friends are there. One friend is having only incoming service, another friend only outgoing, and you have both incoming and outgoing. So which feature you want to have? Which will be the best as per the direction? One way incoming is best, one way outgoing is best, or two way trust? Both is the best, yes. So two way. So when we create a trust between two different forests, as per the direction, we have to go to for two way trust direction. Two way trust direction. So that we can access other service and others can access our service. So two way is the best. Now come to the trust categories. So how many type of trust categories we have? Two types. What are they? Transitive and non-transitive. So transitive means uh, let us discuss. Because this is a new word. Okay, so now we'll go to the what is meant by transitive. Once you understand transitive, automatically you'll understand non-transitive. So in the transitive, suppose you have multiple domain. Or you can say like this. Forest 1, you have multiple domain. Parent domain, child domain. So you can have in the forest only one parent and any number of child domain. So this is one forest. Now this is another forest. Two forests. Now there are here also multiple domain. One parent and remaining child domain. Parent domain and child. So if you have created between the parent domain transitive trust, if you have created between the parent to parent transitive trust, and one of the child, not all, one of the child domain, you create a transitive trust. Then what happens? Automatically the remaining all child. So you have to just create a transitive trust between parent to parent and one of the child to another. Then automatically remaining all child domain, automatically trust will be created. So this type of trust is called as transitive trust. So here they have given the example. Domain is trusting domain B, B is trusting C. Automatically C will trust A or A will automatically trust C. So same way, within the two different forests, if you create a trust between parent domain to parent domain, only one parent will be there and one child to another. Remaining all child will start communicating or remaining all automatically create a trust between remaining all child domain automatically. So this type of trust where if you create a parent trust between parent to parent and one child to another, remaining all child will trust each other automatically. So this type of trust category is called as transitive direction, transitive trust category. So in the transitive trust category, if domain is trusting B, B is trusting C, then automatically A trusts the C or C automatically trusts the A. So this is called transitive trust category. Now come to the non-transitive. So here automatic trust will not be created. So suppose this is your one forest, same example, parent domain and child domain. Now between two different forests, you have created between parent to parent, you have created non-transitive trust and between the child to child, you have created one child to another non-transitive. So automatically this will not create. So how many child domains are there? That many you have to create that many trust you have to create. How many child domains are there? That many manually you have to create. There will be no automatic trust in the non-transitive trust. So if you create a non-transitive trust between parent to parent and one child to another, so automatically it will not create a trust in remaining child domain. You have to manually create the how many child domains are there manually, that many trust manually we have to create in non-transitive trust. So now you tell me, when you create your trust as per the direction, two way is the best. Now same way categories wise, when you are creating a trust, which one is better? Transitive trust we have to create or non-transitive? Which one is best? So when you are now creating the trust, which one you have to create? Now as per the category. Transitive trust you have to create or non-transitive? Transitive. Otherwise, how many child domains are there? That many you have to create. Yes, Abdul, you are right. So always go for the transitive. So as per the category, you go for transitive. So that if you create one trust between parent to parent and one to child to one, remaining all will create. If you use the non-transitive, you have to, how many child domains are there? That many you have to create. So better is transitive trust category. Now come to the types of trust. So while creating the trust, how many types of trust we have? How many types of trust you have? 5 types. What are they? Default, shortcut, external, forest, realm. So these are the name of the trust. So we have 5 types of trust. What are they? Default, shortcut, external, forest, and realm. So we'll discuss one by one all these 5. Which one is best that we will configure today? Okay. First, we'll discuss default trust. So, default trust is a two-way transitive trust which is created default within the same forest. Intra-forest means within the same forest. So, default trust we don't have to create. It will be created by default. So, default trust is created by default. Within the same forest. Within the same forest. Intra-forest means within the same forest. So how many types of trust we have? 5. First one is default. So default trust is created by default. No one will create this. It is created default within the same forest. Within the same forest between parent domain and between the parent domain and child domain. What is the relationship between the domains within the same forest? One parent remaining all child. So we don't have to create any domain. Now, next one is shortcut trust. So shortcut trust is we have to create one way or two way, and it is a transitive. So better is two way, because if you select one way means you have to do both sides. If you select the two way means if you do from one side, no need to do from other side. So it will reduce the, so this is also one way or two way transitive trust within the same forest. Within the same forest. We don't have to create within the same forest the trust. But if there are many parent domain, sorry, if there are many child domain within the same forest, you can have only one parent domain. There is only one parent domain will be there in the entire forest. But there are many child domain. So from one child domain to another, if you try to access, it will pass through multiple domains. So it will take more time. So to reduce the time, authentication time, we can create a shortcut trust within the same forest. If you don't create also, they can able to access each other resources, but it may take more time. So to reduce the time, we can create the shortcut trust within the same forest. So see here. So you can see here example. So these are our many domain. So here forest domain means this is your parent domain. These are all child domain. So you can have only one parent and remaining all child. Suppose this child domain is accessing this resource. So it has to pass through first, it has to go. So for net sort outcome, who's the parent? This. From there, we main parent. Then it will go to this. Then it will again contact this. Again, it will say yes again. So it will pass through multiple domain. Same way, if this user trying to access this child domain. So again, it will pass through this. Then it will say yes, yes, yes. So it will take time. So to reduce this time, what we can do, we can create a shortcut trust between two child domains. So now they will not pass through the multiple domain. Directly, they will access each other resources without passing through their multiple domain. So that's why we can create a shortcut trust within the different domains or within the same forest to reduce the time. If you don't create also trust, they can communicate, but it may take more time because it has to pass through multiple domains. I hope you are following. Yes? Is it clear? No one has said yes. Is it clear to everybody when we will create a shortcut trust? It is also within the same forest. Okay, fine. So here, this is what. So shortcut trust need to be created. So it has to be created. It has to be created within the same forest to reduce the authentication time. Shortcut trust has to be created uh, between different domain within the same forest. To reduce the authentication request. So this is your first type, this is second type. Third one, external. So this is one way and non-transitive. So this was introduced in Windows NT before 2000 between different forest. It is between different forest. This is first and second one is within the same forest. Both are for within the same forest, but it is different forest. But what is the disadvantage here? It is one way and it is non-transitive. So no one is using this. Now the fourth one is what? Forest. It is also, it is a name. Forest means it is the name of the trust. So these are the 5 different types of trust. So forest is the trust which is used between different forest. So it is one way and two way. So which one is the best? Two is the best. And it is a transitive. If you create parent to parent and one child to another, remaining child we don't have to create automatically. So this was introduced in 2003, used in 8, 12, 16, 19 also, because this is very good. But this forest trust will work between different forest within the Windows to Windows only. It will work. Your server and other company server is using Windows. Between Windows to Windows, it will work. Whereas the RealM is a one-way and two-way non-transitive, but it is used between different forest, but different OS. This is within the same OS, means it will support Windows to Windows. It is between Windows to non-Windows. So it will support the between different forest with Windows to non-Windows. Your server company is Windows, but the other company server might be, you cannot force other company to use Windows. So they might be using Linux. So in that case, can you use the forest type trust? No. So if your company is on Windows, other company is using other than Windows like Linux, then you have to use the RealM. Then you have to use the RealM trust. So these are the 5 different types of trust we have. So what are the different types of trust we have? 5 types of trust are there. Default is 1. Default trust is 1. Shortcut is 2nd. External is 3rd. Forest is the 4th. RealM is the 5th. So out of that, the best one is forest, because we are working on Windows to Windows. If it is Windows to non-Windows, we have to go for RealM. There is no other choice. Nobody is using this. And within the forest, you don't have to create. If there are many domains, you can create a shortcut trust. So I hope you understood this. Have you understood this? So with this, we have done the theory part. Now, today we have to do the practical. So the practical setup is very lengthy. So today practical, we need how many DCs? 2 DCs. So normally what we are doing, we are using one DC, one member server. But today, one DC, one ADC. But today you required both DCs and both 2 different DCs, 2 different forests. So yesterday we made one ADC. So you keep the first machine DC as it is. Second machine ADC, first we need to convert that into work group. Then make a new forest, new DC. After that, after that we have to create a trust. So creating a trust is not a big steps. It is not a difficult, but today's practical setup is lengthy, because first you have to change your second machine from member server to work group. After that, make a new DC. Then we have to create a trust between 2 different forests. Then the user from this forest can access the resources from other forest. Without that, they cannot log in. Okay. So shall we do the setup or do you want me to have a break? Tell me, shall we do the setup, then take a break, or we will start first with the break, then do the setup and practical? Tell me. Yes, tell me, I'm waiting for your reply. Shall we have break or shall we do the setup for the practical? Okay, you want me to do the setup, then have break? Okay, fine. So now see here how to do the setup. So we have two DCs. We need today two DCs, but our setup is one DC, one ADC. So the second machine first you have to change into war group, then make a new DC. After that we can create a trust. Then the user of this can log in here. For that, both DCs means if it is a client machine. So if it is a client machine, we cannot directly log in, but both are DCs means you have to give the local logon policy permission, because we know user cannot log in into DC machine unless you give the local logon permission. So that also we have to give since. Okay, now we'll see the setup. So first we need to open our machine. So one of our machine is DC. One is ADC. So keep the DC as it is. Now ADC you have to change it. First into work group, then into the member server. So even I have written all the steps in the practical file. So you can see and do that also. So today's practical is trust. So here I have written how to make the setup for the trust practical. So first we have to demote it. So if you do through the command, it will be done faster and easier. So open the PowerShell, use this command uninstall -adds domain control space -demote operational master -force. After that, system will restart. Then right click on the computer icon, click change setting, change, move, remove the DNX, again restart. Then go to the DC machine, remove the ADC machine entry will be there, remove this. Now make the second machine as a new forest. After that, we can create a trust. So whatever I have written, I'll show you practically. You can see it. So I'll keep my DC as it is. So this is my DC. So how can I know this is my DC? Primary. So keep everything as it is here. Go to the second machine. Now check this machine. Backup. So first we need to change this machine into the work group. So how to do that? So how to do that? So open this PowerShell. Now this command you have to write uninstall -adds. Just use the tab, it will come. Just write few letters and press -dmode -force. Then give the password. Then it will ask, do you want to demote it? Yes. So to make the DC or ADC, first we are installing ADDS and promoting. Demoting means our ADDS will be there. Just the promotion opposite demotion. So we are changing it so that we don't have to again install the ADDS to make the new DC. So just demote it. Once the demotion is done, automatically it will restart. So please wait.
देखिए अंजना जी, मैं तो हैरान हूँ कि जब से 11 बजे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने और उन्होंने कहा कि राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी की फोटो करेंसी पे एक तरफ और भगवान गणेश लक्ष्मी की फोटो करेंसी की दूसरी साइड में हो, ऐसी मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से करता हूँ। पूरी की पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सारे प्रवक्ता, सारे नेता खिलाफ पे खड़े हो गए, गालियां दे रहे, तलवार लेके खड़े हो गए कि भाई भगवान गणेश लक्ष्मी की फोटो कैसे लग सकती है। मुझे तो इसका कारण नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि भगवान गणेश लक्ष्मी जो जीवन में विघ्न करते हैं, जो समृद्धि खुशहाली के देवता माने जाते हैं, उनका विरोध भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्यों कर रही है? इसका कारण पहले बीजेपी को स्पष्ट करना चाहिए। क्या नफरत है, क्या परेशानी है आपको तस्वीरों की जब कहा कौन है करेंसी में तस्वीर लगाने से भगवान की? और ये तो मैं कुछ बात करूं, ये ये इंडोनेशिया करेंसी है जहां पे 85% आबादी मुस्लिम की है, वहां पर करेंसी में भगवान गणेश की फोटो हो सकती है। ये डॉलर है अमेरिका का जो सबसे सशक्त और मजबूत माना जाता है। इस डॉलर पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? इन गॉड वी ट्रस्ट। इसके अलावा मैं आपको भारत के करेंसी के दिखा रहा हूँ। अभी चौधरी जी से अगर कोई आपका प्रवक्ता हो तो जाके सवाल जरूर पूछे। ये सरदार साहब की फोटो है सिक्के के ऊपर, ये सिक्के के ऊपर फोटो है। अब मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ माँ शेरावाली की तस्वीर, माँ शेरावाली की तस्वीर है, ये माँ शेरावाली की तस्वीर है।
Okay, now you see here. Now this has become, now work group. First get the icons. Now go to this computer or PC, right click properties, change setting. Here is still work group. Our domain name is previous domain name is showing. So go to the change setting, change, then more. Here it will be there. Remove that. Then say OK. Now it will become pure work group. See here, compulsory you have to restart. Again you restart. Meanwhile, you go to the DC. When you make the ADC, in the DC machine, ADC machine entry will be there. When you make the ADC, in DC, ADC machine entry will come. So go to the ADUC console, Active Directory Users and Computer. Now go to the computer, domain controller, domain controller. Here you will have, yesterday we made ADC on system 2. System 2 entry will be there. So you have to remove this system 2 entry, not system 1. Then you can check this box and delete it. So now the delete system 2. Now you can make the second machine as a new forest, new DC, new forest. If you don't delete it, it will not become. So please remember this step also. Now my machine is pure work group. So I can change it into new DC. Now I can change into new DC.
भी है और विशाल भी है। ममता बनर्जी जी चंडीगढ़
So now see here, our ADDS is already there. Just we need to promote and make it into new DC.
राहुल गांधी आज पर भगवान का ट्वीट आप सुनेंगे तो आपके पैरों की जमीन से सट जाएगी आपकी गोली गोली पहले फिर आगे चला हिंदुस्तान में रहना वालों को तो श्री गणेश लक्ष्मी जी की जय के इंडिया पाकिस्तान
So select here, third option. We want to make a new forest. So select a new forest. So now that forest name should be anything other than the zoom, because we already have zoom. Next.
इनके मंत्री ने देवी के विरुद्ध देवी देवताओं के बदले बदले काम नजर आते हैं दिल्ली में बैठे हुए हम मोदी सरकार तो यहाँ बदलाव है इनका कहना है तो मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ क्या नोट दिखा रहे हैं इसमें एक चीज और करने की पंजाब में डाल तस्वीरें वो पता है यदि वो है अहमद सुप्रीम तो एशिया में तो हमारे यहाँ गांधी अहमद सुप्रीम का बयान जानते पचास को पहले
So here you can change it to the least value.
अहमद पटेल ने कहा था पूजा पद्धति बदल गई, पूर्वज नहीं बदल सकते। तो अपने को पूर्वज हिंदू मानते हैं, आप मानते हैं क्या? हम तो कहते हैं कि सारे मुसलमानों के पूर्वज हिंदू। अब बताइए आप, अगर आप इंडोनेशिया का हो और इंडोनेशिया के अहमद पटेल का चित्र तो नीचे
Now HDFC is there.
भाव रखते हैं, तो सारी बात मानते हैं क्या? मगर तो कुछ चाहने की बात, सच्ची दर्शन करने के लिए वो बेचारे शराब से लेकर और बिजली का क्या क्या जतन और घोटाले कर चुके हैं। अब कोई बात पूजा में यही ख्याल आया है तो मैं तो ये कहना चाहूंगा कि भाई ये तो वो है, इनके ऊपर क्या टिप्पणी है कि रह रहे के बदलते हैं शिवनाथ नए टोले, मतलब के रसिया है इन पर तो क्या
So now it will become the DC and it will take some time. So shall we have a break? Meanwhile, we can have a break. It will take about like some time. So our DC is ready now. Now we will create the trust. Yes, my voice is audible. Shall we continue now? Yes, my voice is audible. Now we have two DCs. Now we need to create a trust. So you can create a trust either from system 1 or system 2. So our system 1 is what? Our system 1 is our Zoom forest. System 2 is HDFC forest. So you have to give the IP addresses and preferred DNS with the same setup. Now go to one of the machine, either in Zoom or HDFC forest, open the ADTT, Active Directory Domain Trust Console. Right click on your domain name, new trust. Give the new name, create a trust, both this way. Give this over. Now create a user, login from here, but both machines are DC. If it is a member server, no need to give the local login permission. Give that permission and see if it is login or not. If it is able to login means your ADC, your trust has been created successfully and the users can access each other resources. Okay. So now let me go to this. This is our first DC. So this is my DC. So my DC machine name is, this is system 1. Yes, what is the IP you check? IP address and preferred DNS should be same. So here now default gateway which we have given at the time of VPN is not required there. Instead of here it is required. So this is the setup you have to do. Now go to the second machine. That machine should be also now with DC. So now it has become the new DC. So now this is also primary, second machine. Now system 2 is a HDFC forest. Now check the IP address. Because when you make the DC, preferred DNS will change to loopback. So compulsory you have to change it. IP address and preferred DNS should be same. So IP address and preferred DNS should be same. Alternate DNS should be the other IP, other DNS IP. So this is the setup in second machine. So one is Zoom, another is HDFC. Now from HDFC, I'm creating a trust. You can do from any machine. So I'm doing from here. Open the server manager console. Now go to the tools, open this. Second option, Active Directory Domain and Trust, ADTT, Active Directory Domain and Trust. Select this, right click, properties. Now we want to create a trust from the HDFC to zoom.com, new trust. New trust next. Here you write it. What is the other forest name? Zoom.com. So I'm creating a trust from the HDFC to Zoom. Next. Which type of trust is best? Forest, not external, forest trust. Next. So two-way. So if you select two-way, no need to create from Zoom if you do from HDFC. Now both this domain. Select both this domain. Otherwise, if you select this option, you have to do from this end also and from Zoom end also. So select here both this domain. Next. Now the password for security, you cannot create with everybody. You need the authentication. So you need to call the Zoom administrator and take the Zoom administrator password of the Zoom DC machine. They will tell you. If they are not telling, you have to configure your end, they will configure their end. So they can change the password after telling you. So they will normally tell us. So now I'm giving the password of the Zoom administrator. That is the Zoom DC password. If it is next, yes, forest-wide authentication. Now, next. Now here you have to say confirm outgoing, yes. Incoming also, yes. Next. Yeah, outgoing, incoming, finish. Over. So trust has been created. Now you can create a user from here and log in from the other domain. So now I'm creating the user from the HDFC. How to create a user? Go to the ADUC console. So here I'm creating a user H1 with the 7-character password because here we have not reduced the password length. So I'm giving the 8-character password length. No need to again change the password and check that finish. Now this is a DC machine. So in DC machine, the user cannot log in unless until the administrator give the local logon permission. So come to the zoom.com, give the permission before you log in as a user. Open the server manager console. So we have already discussed how to give the permission. So you have to give where you are logging in Zoom. User is created in HDFC. User is logged in Zoom. So you have to come to Zoom and give the permission. So go to the tools. So which console we have to open to change the things? GPM console. So open the GPM console. Now select here domain controller, default domain controller policy. We have done already 2 times. Yes. So select the domain controller, default domain controller policy, select it, right click, edit. Now under the users, under the computer, go to the policies, then Windows settings, then security settings. Here, local policy, second option, double click. Now go to the second option, user right assignment. 6th option, allow logon locally. Now add user or group, browse, write the name of that user. Full name you have to write because it is different forest. H1 at the rate where it is created, HDFC, hdfc.com. Name is verified. Okay. Now this is added. Now this user can log in. So don't forget to update. Now you try to log in now as a H1. So for that, you log out first as an administrator, sign out, all control insert. Now sign in with H1. So it is a different domain, different forest. So write full name H1 at the rate hdfc.com and the password. Now if everything is right, it will log in. See here, it has logged in. get the icons. Okay. Now the user has logged in, created from the other forest into the Zoom forest, created from HDFC, login in Zoom forest because of the trust which we have created. So with this, we have done today's MCSE fourth session. Tomorrow is the last session. Now I'll switch off the machine. Now we'll concentrate on Linux. So today we'll see how to create the files in Linux. So did everybody receive the practical step file? If anybody have not received, ping to my mail ID or WhatsApp, I'll send you. Now we'll proceed with the Linux. So yesterday we have discussed the Linux basic command part 1. Today Linux basic command part 2. So here first we will log in as a root. Now open the terminal. So we'll create the file today. So normally the files here in Linux is created with the cat, touch and veditor. So all the three commands we will discuss today. So open the terminal. So before you create any file, you check. I already told you yesterday, the black ones are text file, blue ones are directory. So to create the file, first we'll discuss cat command. Cat greater than any name of your choice. In Windows, it takes the default extension .txt, but in Linux, it doesn't take. So how we can identify it? Either by color or by alphabet. Yesterday I told you, if you give LL or LS space hyphen L, if the first character hyphen means it is a file. If the first character D means direct, that is called properties. So now cat greater than red hat. Now cursor is blinking. Here you can write anything you like. Just example I'm writing. Then before you save the file, press enter, come to the empty line, then save the file. Like in Windows, Control S. In Linux, Control D to save the file. Now, how do you check it? The file is created or not? LS. So can you find here black ones? Yes, it is a file. So with cat, we can create a file. We can read also. Cat space file name. And with the cat, we can also append the file. Append means we can able to append the file. Append means adding. Already our file is having some lines. So if you want to add some more lines, it is called appending. So cat double greater our file name. So whatever lines is there, it will be there. Now our new lines will be added. Our new lines will be added. That is called appending. Cat double greater red hat. I'm adding one more line. Enter. Control D to again save the file. Now to read it, previous command up arrow key. So you can able to read now. So how many times you want to append, you can append. Now one more line you want to append, double greater. Single greater if you give for existing file, it will overwrite. So for creating the new file, greater than. For already existing file, double greater. But if you have seen the spelling, you can correct it. But by mistake, if you have not seen and you have written like this, some spelling mistake, and you have not checked at that time, then what happens here, once you press enter, you cannot go to the above line. This is the problem with the cat. So with the cat, we can create a file, we can read, we can append, but we can't modify. Once we press enter, if you are in the same line, if you have checked using the backspace, you can delete. But once you press enter, you cannot go to your above line. Modification, it's not possible. And we cannot create multiple files with the cat command. So major two limitation in cat command is it cannot modify the file and cannot create multiple files. So how to save it? Control D. If you want to read, some mistakes are there, like our first letter should be capital. So now can I able to change it with cat? No. So here mistake is there by by. So can I change with cat? No. So with the cat, modification is not possible. Appending means we can add, but already created data in that some mistake is there, we cannot modify with cat. And with the cat, we can create one file at one time, but can't create multiple files. So if you want to create multiple files, we have another command, touch command. So with the touch, we can create single as well as multiple files. But with the touch command, we can create only empty file, but means it will not go inside the file. So with touch, we can just create empty file, 0 byte. It can't read, can't write, can't modify. Then what is the use means? In some cases, like when you are doing the sharing, so you have to check sharing is taking place or not. So at that time, you can create an empty file and check it. Or sometimes you don't want the user to create the file. You can create and give them. Then they can write by using the cat or vi. Okay. So now our next command is touch command. So with that cat, we can create a file by using single greater than. We can read the file, cat space file name. We can append the file. These are the things we can do with cat. But with the cat, we cannot modify the file and cannot create multiple files. So if you want to create multiple files, you can use the touch command. So with the touch command, can we create single file? Yes. But main usage of touch command is to create multiple files. So I'm creating one file, cat space one name. So how many name I have given? Sorry, touch. Now we are discussing touch command. Touch space one name. So how many file will be created? One file, but it is empty file. But the main purpose of using the touch command is to create multiple files. So how to create multiple file now? Touch, you give different names like AWS, Cisco, VMware, Linux, like the different names you give. So how many names you are giving? That many files will be created. Between the different names, you need to keep the space. So I given four names, four files will be created. And if you want to create multiple file with the same name, you can do like this, touch Hyderabad, flower bracket after the name. How many you want to create? You can do it. So your first number can be anything, your last number can be anything. But between the first and last number, two dots. First dot is from, second dot is to. So how many files will be created now here? 12 Hyderabad file. Flower bracket you have to use. Okay. Can you use the alphabet in place of numbers? Yes. So can you use the alphabet in place of number? Yes, you can use. But with the touch command, what is the problem? We can't write, can't read, can't modify. So like with the touch, we cannot read. With the cat, I can able to read, but with the touch, I can't write. I also can't read. But with the cat, we can read, we can write, we can append. But with the touch, we can't read, can't write, can't append. Only we can create empty. single as well as multiple file. So if you want to make the modification, like in Windows, we have Notepad file. We can use Notepad. We can use WordPad. So in Linux also, some editors are there. So the most commonly used editor in Linux is VI editor. Now we will discuss how to modify the file using VI editor. Now we will discuss VI editor through which we can modify the file. So if you want to modify the file in Linux, we normally uses VI editor. So VI editor consists of three modes. VI editor. So using the VI editor, we can modify the file. So which file I want to modify? Suppose Red Hat, VI space file name. So the VI editor consists of three modes. So the first mode is command mode. So whenever we open the file with VI editor, it will go to which mode? Command mode. What are the other modes we have? The other mode is insert mode. So each mode function is different. So these are the three modes: command mode, insert mode, and extended mode. What you can do in command mode, you cannot do that in insert mode. What you can do in insert mode, you cannot do that in extended mode. Each mode is different, each function. So this is how the VI editor will work. So now here, each mode function is different. So then here, how we can identify we are in which mode? So how we can understand or identify we are in which mode? So for that, very simple logic is there. Whenever you are using the VI editor, look at the bottom of the file. So when you are in the command mode, it will show file name. So whenever you see file name or nothing, nothing means blank at the bottom of the file, it means you are in command mode. So whenever you see file name or blank, it means you are in command mode. So in command mode, so this VI editor is a text editor. Here mouse will not work, only keyboard. So here we can copy, we can paste the lines, we can delete the lines, we can search the line, we can search the word. All these things I'll show you practically. But in command mode, we cannot modify the file. So if you want to modify the file, you need to come to the insert mode. So to come to the insert mode, you can use either A or I or O or insert key. So we can press either A, I, O or insert key. Any one key, not all the key. So easy to remember is I. So press I from command mode to go to insert mode. So when you are in insert mode, it will show, as long as you are in insert mode, it will show at the bottom of the file insert. So in insert mode, what task you can do? Only one task, that is modification. So once you have done the modification, now you need to save the file. So saving of the file can be done only in extended mode, but you cannot go from insert mode to extended mode directly. So first from insert mode, you have to go to command mode. So for that, you have to use escape key. So press escape key. Press escape key, because any other key if you press, that will type. So press escape key to move from insert mode to command mode. Now from command mode, you have to press shift colon. So you will come to extended mode. So whenever you see at the bottom of the file name are blank, it means you are in command mode. So when you press I, so when or O or A or insert key, you will be in insert mode. So when you are in insert mode, it will show at the bottom of the file insert. So in that you can do modification. When you see at the bottom of the file colon, it means extended mode. Here you can save the file and you can quit from the VI editor. This is the main task. So how to do this? I have written everything in the file which I have given to you. Through that, I'll show you the practical. So how to remember that file you can use, you practice few times, you will get it. Initially, Linux will be a little bit tough, but as more and more practice you do, you'll become more better with Linux. So today, Like these are the things already we discussed. Some extra thing also are given here. Now today we completed cat touch. Now we are discussing V editor. First command. So if you want to delete the line DD, so your cursor is in which position, or your cursor is in which line, that line will be deleted. To delete multiple line, NDD, where N indicate number of lines. Suppose you want to delete 2 lines, 2DD, 3 lines, 3DD. So from the position of the cursor, the task will begin. To copy the line, YY. To copy multiple line, like 3 lines means 3YY, 5 lines means 5YY. To paste it, P. To undo, U. Control R to redo. To go to last line. In extended mode, Q for quit, W for save. So to do both save and quit, WQ. So this is about your VI editor. Okay. Now I'll show you the practical VI editor. Now we have to modify the Red Hat file. So can I modify with cat? Can I modify with the touch? No. So we have to use VI editor, VI space file name. So once you go to the command mode, you can see the file name. So Red Hat is the file name. How many lines? 3 lines. How many characters? 70. So now to make it simple, we will set the line numbers. Shift to colon means extended mode. SC space NU. So this is to set the line number. Enter. Now press I to go to insert mode. So whenever you see blank or file name, command mode. When you press I, you will be in insert mode. So from insert mode, can you go to the extended mode? No. So press escape key. Now nothing is there. So press shift to colon extended mode. Okay. Now escape. Now nothing is there. So command mode. Now my cursor is on second line. Now I'm pressing on the keyboard 2DD. So 2 lines will be deleted. Which 2 lines? Second and third. So the execution of the task will begin from the position of the cursor. 2DD. Now by mistake you have deleted this. So can you get it back? Yes. If you have not saved the file. So just press U for undo. So whatever lines you have deleted, it will come back. Now again you want to delete it without using 2DD. Control R, redo. Redo means undo opposite. Again you want to get it back means U means undo. Control R means redo. U means undo. Now I using the up arrow key. Here mouse will not work. Only keyboard will you have to use in VI editor. Now I'm pressing on the keyboard 3YY. 3 lines have been copied. So where you want to paste it, bring your cursor there. You cannot go below the last line. Now press P. So it will paste below the cursor position. So how many times you want to paste it, you paste it. Now my cursor is on first line. To go to last line, shift G or caps on G, capital G. To go to first line, small g 2 times, GG. To go to particular line, press that number like 5, capital G or small g 2 times. It will go there. So like this you can do copy, paste, undo, redo. Okay. Now you want to search Wednesday. Press the forward key, forward slash. The cursor will come at the bottom. Write the word which you want to search. Now first time enter. Second time this Wednesday is appearing multiple times. Second time N for next. First time enter. Next time N. So in command mode, these are the things you can do. Copy, paste, undo, redo, searching of the word. But your first letter in the document should be always capital letter. So can I modify in command mode? Can I do the modification in command mode? No. So we have to go to the insert mode to do the modification. So here mistakes are there. The spelling of the BY is wrong and my first letter should be capital. So can I do modification in command mode? No. So we need to go to the insert mode. So to go to insert mode, press I. So on the keyboard, I'm pressing I. So now I'm in insert mode. So when you are in insert mode, all the keys on the keyboard will work normally. How we work normally with the keyboard, same way it will work. So now press the delete key. So small t is deleted. Shift T or caps on T. So using down arrow key, come there, use the backspace, delete it. So wherever mistake is there, you can delete. Now, if you want to add some new thing, you can write. So this is what called modification. So in the insert mode only, we can do the modification. So this is called modification. Okay. So I hope you are following. Yes, are you following? Yes, please tell me. Are you following? Okay, anybody is not writing yes, no, something. Have you understood this command mode, insert mode? Last mode is extended mode. But before that, please tell me, are you following? Okay, finally Abdul has written. Nice. Now we have done the changes, we have done the modification. Now we have to save it. So press escape key. Now you are in command mode. How to go to extended mode? Shift colon. Now if you want to remove the line number, you have to write SC space NO, NO, NU. So it will go to the, so now action will be done. No, you have to press enter. So once you press enter, then only the task will be done. But once you press the enter, the task will be done. But it will go back to which mode? Again, command mode. So again, how to come to insert mode? Shift colon. So this is your full diagram of the block diagram of the VI editor working. Okay. So please follow this. It will be easier for you. And the notes which I have given to you. Now enter. Now the task is done, but it went to the command mode. So how to come to again extended mode? Shift colon. How to set the line number? SCNU. Now I want to replace Wednesday with Thursday. So shift colon, 1 means from first line, comma, dollar means till last line. S means set, forward slash, existing word or old word with a new word. So wherever Wednesday is there, it will change into Thursday in one command. Now finally, I decided now I am pressing DD. I decided that 3 lines should be there. So how to save and exit? Escape, shift colon, WQ. Now again, when you enter, line numbers won't be there. Now you press I insert mode. You return something, but you don't want to save it. So press first escape key to go to extended command mode. To save and exit, extended mode. To save without quitting, Q, but it will not allow you. So use the exclamation mark. Now it will allow you. If you don't do any changes, no need of forceful option. You can just use Q to quit. Okay. So with VI editor, can we create a new file? Yes. VI space, some new name. New file will be created. Press I to go to insert mode, write it. So with VI editor, we can read, we can write, we can append, we can modify, we can create new file, we can do everything. So VI is the best if you compare cat, touch and VI editor. Now how to save this file? First press escape, go to command mode, then shift colon, extended mode. W to save, Q for quit. Don't use QW. W to save, Q for quit. Now you can see Unix file is also created. So can I read with the cat? Yes. So with this, today's session we have completed. So tomorrow in Linux, I'll show you how to create directory, how to copy, how to rename, how to delete, how to create a user. Tomorrow I'll show you. So in Linux, we are not going to discuss much theory because the concept, whatever we have discussed in Windows, same thing will be there. Mostly we'll do the practical, that is through the commands. Okay, so to get the idea. So tomorrow will be the fifth and last class of MCSE, Active Directory fifth class. Then I'll be showing you only Linux till Saturday. Saturday will be the last class. Okay, so that's bring to the end of our today's session. That's it for today. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. So if you have any questions, any doubt, please ask me. Yes, anyone, any question, any doubt? Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. I'm closing the session. See you tomorrow.